Welcome back into another episode of the Eagles Nest. I'm Brian Mazurowski. Got a great show for you. Talk some Brockport hockey and basketball. We'll have Gerald Williams, guard for the Brockport men's basketball team, in studio. And we'll bring in Ryan Gates for some over-under. All that, much more, coming up on the Eagles Nest. Welcome into the Eagles Nest. We hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving holiday, and well, many of you were out of town. Brockport sports teams were still in action, and we'll start with the men's basketball team, who, after dropping their first two games at the Oswego tournament, Brockport opened their home season against St. John Fisher. The game started with a renaming ceremony of the Tuttle Gymnasium. The gym was renamed Jim and John Velaginitis Gymnasium in honor of the two brothers, both of whom are in the Golden Eagle Hall of Fame. Brockport held a 12-point lead with under 15 minutes to play in the game, but St. John Fisher went on a 16-4 run in the fourth quarter, and Brockport couldn't recover. The Golden Eagles would fall in their home opener to start their season 0-3. Starts don't mean everything, though. Remember, Brockport last year started their season with a 14-5 record and failed to make it past the second round of SUNYACs. They have a chance to get back on track, though, with the Wendy's College Classic. They'll take on RIT in the first round on Wednesday. You can, of course, check out all the action on 89.1 The Point. We'll take the opportunity now to bring in our first guest of the show, junior guard for the men's basketball team, Gerald Williams. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
And we'll start things off with some background on you. Went to Charlotte High School from the Rochester area. How important was it to you to stay local while playing your college ball?
I think it was real important. To be honest, I got a lot of support being at Charlotte, a lot of support from the staff, from local people in the neighborhood, and me coming to Brockport, local college, they were able to keep in intact with me and keep up on my stats and come to my games and everything. So I think that was real important.
Now you're averaging this season about 12 points per game. Are you where you feel you want to be, or do you take these first few games to kind of rev up for the new season?
Honestly, I'm not where I hope to be. I'm definitely making an effort to get where I want to be. Yeah, I'm around 12, 13 points a game where I left off last year. I hope to be a little more up as far as scoring, but I'm trying to get the whole team together as far as chemistry and everything. So it's still coming together. We started off kind of slow, but it's a learning process. We're getting better. Each step we're taking is in the right direction.
You had your game against St. John Fisher, opened up the season with a few losses. Not a bad showing against Fisher, but what does this team need to do to start winning some games?
It's the little things. It's the little things. Collectively, we're a good team. We can score, we can defend. It's just the little things, little loose balls, free throw here or there. Just getting a stop maybe instead of 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3. We're making a good process, a good effort. I think that we just got to keep the hunger and keep wanting it.
Now, as we mentioned before, last year you guys started off red hot, and then kind of trailed off at the end. What were some of the things that you and the rest of your team has learned and has taken to this season from last year?
What we want to take from last year is the passion we had last year with the collective group that we had. Was awesome. It was through the roof. We want to bring that back. We got a lot of new faces, a lot of freshmen here on the team this year, and a lot of transfers. We want to bring that back. We want to get that energy back that we had last year in the beginning, and go from there.
You have a few games at least left on your schedule in 2010 before you take that month off between games, about beginning of December to the beginning of January. What does the team do in that month off to make sure you remain in game shape?
We get better. We come in with a focus into practice every day, and we do what we did before the first game of the season, which was fine everything. We start from scratch and build back up. We make sure everything is being in place as far as plays, offensively, defensively. All our schemes is top notch.
All right. Gerald Williams, junior guard for the Brockport basketball team. Thanks a lot for taking the time out to join us today.
Anytime, anytime.
Brockport basketball returns to action this Wednesday, taking on RIT in the first round of the Wendy's College Classic. You can check out that game, as well as a whole bunch of others on 89.1 The Point. Mike Baggerman will have your play-by-play. Take a quick break. When we return, talk some Brockport hockey and bring in Mr. Ryan Gates for some over-under when we come back on the Eagles Nest.
Hey folks, I got a surprise for you. ATV towels.
For when your college TV diet spills into boredom, the plain program won't soak up your laughs like the fun-driven program of ATV. Watch this side-by-side comparison.
ATV, the laughter picker-upper. It's upside down.
Welcome back into the Eagles Nest. I'm Brian Mazurowski. The Brockport hockey team has had a rough start to their season, an 0-8 record. They were looking to turn things around over the break as they headed to Vermont for the Rutland Herald tournament held at Castleton. The Turkey must have sat nicely with the Golden Eagles because they came as close as they could get to their first win on the year, tying Tufts University after overtime on Saturday. But because someone needed to advance in the tournament, the game went to a shootout where Brockport would come out on top. The result, however, is officially a tie as there are no shootouts in the record books. Brockport would then go on to face Castleton in the tournament final. And they entered the third period trailing by just a goal, but Castleton came out strong in the final frame, scoring 2 goals in the first 6 minutes and 17 seconds, adding another later on, adding up to a final score of 5-1. Brockport drops now to 0-9-1 on their season. A few bright spots, though, on the weekend. In addition to getting out of the loss column for the first time, Brockport had a couple individuals shine. And that's where we'll welcome in Ryan Gates to play a little over-under. And we'll start with James Cody. Added a goal this weekend, bringing his total to 7 goals, 7 assists. And for those mathematically challenged, that's 14 points in just 9 games played. And there's at least 15 remaining on the schedule for Brockport. Over or under 30 points for James Cody this year?
I think it's absolutely over. James Cody this year has been on a serious tear. I mean, in 9 games, he has 14 points, 7 goals, 7 assists. I mean, he's distributing to his teammates, making everyone better out on the ice, and he can just take teams on one-on-one. I mean, we saw him just absolutely just go through 3 guys on defense and go and score. This kid's a beast. There's no other term to describe him, and I think on the season he will have well over 30 points.
All right, it's almost hard to disagree with you. I think he might hit a rough spot there, so right around 30 is where I'm guessing. What might be a more serious question, Brockport hockey over or under 1 win this year?
Yeah, I think they'll definitely get over 1 win. I mean, coming up this weekend, they have Oswego and Cortland. Cortland, a very, very winnable game, one that Brockport should win. Both teams are struggling. And later in the season, they faced Western New England College, a team who comes from the ECAC Northeast, a very, very weak division, and Brockport should have their way with them. So I'm saying at least 4, but I think they could get up there with a couple more, maybe wins over maybe a Morrisville or a Potsdam. I think they could have a couple more than 4.
You mentioned some of those teams, though. They have to be careful. Make sure if they are getting 4 wins, they're all in conference in order to make those SUNYAC playoffs. Now we'll switch things up a little bit. Brockport men's basketball still hasn't won either, though they've had an impressive showing against St. John Fisher. The team will play as little as 3 games before the new year. Do they get their first win before or after 2011?
I think they'll get it beforehand. I mean, they've had 2 tough losses, 5-point losses to Keystone College and St. John Fisher. Close games they've been playing so far. And coming up on the schedule, they have RIT at the Wendy's College Classic. I'm not sure what they're going to do against RIT, but there's other teams they're going to be facing on later on in that tournament. And then they have Geneseo after that. Geneseo, a very winnable game. So I think before 2011 comes around, you'll see Brockport in the win column.
Yeah, but I think they're due for one. You're right, the way they've been playing so far. Thanks a lot, Mr. Ryan Gates, for joining us for Over Under. All right, you can catch him as well as Gary Themis on all the Brockport hockey calls, 89.1 The Point, and check out the complete schedule at thepointafter.org. I'd like to thank our guest, Gerald Williams, for stopping by earlier today, as well as everyone else who made this show possible. Tune in next time, same place, for another edition of the Eagles Nest. 27 days till Christmas. Yeah. Who can believe it?
Only 33 until the new year, too.
Terrific.
Absolutely.
Back to you guys for Brockport Weekly.